So today I'm going to show you guys how to make Darth Revan's lightsaber, the one with the little fins on it. And then in a couple weeks I'll show you how to make his other lightsaber. So start by getting yourself a cardboard tube such as an old wrapping paper or baking paper roll. And then you want to mark it off so that it is 10.5 inches long. Cut that down to size and paint half of it black. You only have to go about halfway down, just like that. And then take some silver adhesive foil. You can also use tin foil if you don't have this. Lay it out sticky side up and lay the plain side of your cardboard tube onto it, and then carefully wrap the silver foil around it, taking care to keep it as smooth as possible. And then cut off any excess on the edge. And take some craft foam, 2 or 3 millimeter. You want to press the tube into it so it makes an indentation, and then cut out around the indentation, leaving a little bit of an out round on it. Put a little bit of glue on the bottom of your tube, and glue the tube right to that circle. Then glue another circle to the other end of the tube, and cut those off on both ends so that they're flush with the tube. Then cut some long, thin strips of craft foam. And you're just going to glue one around the silver end, and then glue a second one right below that. And then in the middle, you'll glue one where the black and the silver meet, and then one below that. And so over on the silver end, you're going to take a thin strip of silver foil and to wrap that right around the top of those black pieces that you just glued on, or those foam pieces. Just like that. And then take a square of silver foil with the sticky side up and press that onto the end of the tube, and then cut off any excess. That you get a nice silver tube end. And then take another strip of silver foil and put that around the foam circle toward the silver side of the tube. And then glue a foam strip on the end, 3 millimeter if possible. If not, use 2 sets of 2 millimeter. And then you'll glue a longer piece of craft foam below that, and this will be thinner so that the piece on the end sticks up. So then you'll put another thin piece below the end, and that one should stick up above the one on the end. You'll do 4 of those, leaving space in between each one. And then you'll cover each one of those with a thin strip of silver foil, except for the very end, which you will leave plain. So just do the 4 strips in silver foil. This is what you should have so far. Then put a piece of silver foil on the other end of the lightsaber and cut off the excess again so that they both have nice silver ends. Just like that. Then cut some very thin strips of black electrical tape. You can also use paint, but I find that the electrical tape makes more crisp lines. And you're just going to stick that all the way around on the silver side of the lightsaber toward the bottom. You'll do 2 of those to make 2 black lines. Then take a piece of silver foil and cover half of a plastic cylinder bead with that, and cover the other half with some of that black electrical tape. And you can use paint for both of these if you don't want to use the tape. Then on the silver end, cover the end with a piece of black tape and cut off the excess. So the end toward the black tape should be open. Put some glue on that and glue that onto the end of the lightsaber. This is the black end of the lightsaber. And then take some very thin strips of silver foil. You can use paint for this, but the strips of foil will be crisper and straighter. And you're just going to put a strip around the bottom, and then 2 strips going vertical, and then a couple of strips angling, and some more strips angling, and some strips across the top. And so this is what you should have. It's kind of this weird little design here. And then on the back side there's 2 strips of silver. So then take some thin cardboard and you're going to cut out the wing shapes, and I do have a template for this that should be popping up on your screen. You'll cut 3 of those. And then take the flat side, lean it against your lightsaber, and mark off where the foam pieces are. And then you just want to cut those out so that the notches can fit around the foam pieces. So once they've been cut, they should fit right around. So they can come off and fit right around just like that. So if you want to be more accurate, there's also 2 other pieces you can put on the outside of your little wing piece to make a stack. And the only difference is they don't have the point and they're a little bit smaller, but I chose not to do that just to make my life easier. So I only have the single piece, and I put silver foil all the way around it on both sides. So you just want to put some glue along the uncovered edge of your wings there and stick those 3 of them around the lightsaber, equally spaced. While those are drying, take a flat bead and a small bead that will fit in the center hole. Paint the whole thing silver, and then when the silver's dry, paint the center bead red. You'll do the same thing with a smaller one, painting the flat bead silver and the middle bead black. And then you'll just, I'm resting my lightsaber on paint bottles here to keep it supported, but glue the big one on top and the smaller one toward the middle of that blank space. Then take another cylinder bead, and you're just going to cover that in black tape or paint it black, and you'll glue that toward the bottom. And so then here is the entire Darth Revan lightsaber. This has got to be one of the least practical lightsabers ever. I mean, seriously, how is one supposed to duel holding onto this thing? Yeah, right. And shout out to Dan. Thank you for the PayPal tip. Greatly appreciated.